Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I'm going to review the Rayneo AR glasses. So don't get me wrong, I'm not putting a sunglass inside of a cinema room setup. And what you're seeing behind me is a 65-inch QNED TV from LG. If I do it like this, that will be more correctly. And this is my 4K short throw projector, and it's right now projecting 135 image. So how small this TV? But basically, Rayneo Air 2, this glass can give you 200-inch image from 5 to 6 meters. So roughly, it is going to give me similar setup from my 4.2 meter distance 135-inch image. At least this is how I feel. So this is definitely a cinema where you want to go. But things are not going to end there. I wasn't expecting this much of a stuff. But before that, I want to make clear. Rayneo brand sent me this glass to review, but they don't have any control over what I say, as always. So I'm going to give you my overall opinion after probably 2 to 3 months of use, because I wanted to use this before giving my full judgment. A lot of people out there reviewing stuff, but in this video I'm going to compare to a projector or TV setup. Basically, people are comparing them one to another. But I'm going to tell you my opinion about the general concept of these product types. While I talk about it, you're going to see the picture quality inside, and in some dedicated section, I'm going to try to shoot similar stuff close up with the glass and the TV, with the glass, with the projector in the same time, like a half picture-to-picture setup. You're going to see the brightness levels if the camera set to manual. And if you can see what I see, you're going to probably think this is kind of like a bargain. It's nothing cheap, but I'm going to give you my full conclusion. Is it going to be replacing the projectors? On what kind of conditions? Because there are a lot of times I thought this could really replace projectors and still think the same. But there are some limitations. Let's just dive into the topic. This is Rayneo Air 2, and probably they are going to create another model, and they have lots of different alternatives like a pocket-sized TV box that you can connect to this. This device doesn't have internal battery, and I really love that because you don't want to check another device battery when you're traveling. And it's light. You're going to see the weight of this thing. This is really light. And let me just show you side by side first. This is the glass itself on the side and at the corner, like you can see it. I'm going to take this and take a regular sunglass. This is a regular sunglass. I know it's around the side, it's thinner, but basically, let me just put it on the sunglass again. If I remove this and get back to this, it won't be bothering you too much. After a while, you get used to it. This is like a little bit forward, like standing. But on the side, you can see it. But on the front, if I look like this, you won't be seeing like awkward from the side. But it's not the main issue. You have a third of the part below a semi-transparent, so it acts like a sunglass. So when you're walking, if you put your head high or if you do it like this, you're going to miss some of the screen, of course, but basically you can see around you. So this is not a VR style blocking the way kind of like thing, and I like it. If you're going to type some stuff when you're using keyboard, and you're going to use this as an external monitor or directly the only monitor that you got, you can use it. And I've used it, but I didn't like it. I'm going to tell you the reasons. But I'm going to talk about generals and then minus and plus, like positives and negatives and stuff. So you can use it with a Type-C cable going through your Ultrabook, like a MacBook or any kind of like Ultrabook or regular laptop. You can handle the job. But basically, you probably choose this on the go with your smartphone. You're going to need only one Type-C cable if you have a latest generation like or mid-level phones to these days, like if you're going to go a couple of years back, like Samsung S8, maybe with the Type-C, if I remember correctly, maybe S9, definitely S10. I had the S10. It was having the Type-C, so they were having all the way like Type-C to HDMI port, so you can use this glass pretty much 5 years, maybe 7 years old phones, and you can play any kind of like app like Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube definitely gives a huge amount of advantage, and you will have the Google TV. So if you add like Google Movies, you can purchase any movie on the go from your phone and you can watch it with a 200-inch huge image. And it has the speakers. Really, I wasn't expecting like this. They tell on their websites like people won't hear you, but you're going to have a clear hearance. Yes, you are. You're going to be, of course, lacking a little bit of bass, but where the speakers are placed and they have like discrete mode, you really hear the stuff and people don't. That's kind of like a niche, and it's a good thing when you're traveling on a bus or a plane. You don't want to both disturb someone around you, and of course, you don't want to have them to listen to what you listen. Okay, so that's a nice touch. I really loved it, and it's really useful. Those are the things I can't show it to you, because even if I record the sound quality, you won't get it, because it's going to be traveled through my microphone and your headphones or earbuds or your TV or your monitor sound level or your speaker. So I'm just going to talk to you about the audio. Since the audio is out of the way, you can easily, like me, use your earbuds, Bluetooth earbuds. It's going to be the perfect combination for perfect cinema experience, because you're going to get the best bass ever while you're watching an action movie. How this can be useful if you're traveling a lot, this will be the cinema wherever you go. But my point is it going to be replacing the projector or the TV that you might have for your second room? It probably might will, depending on your scenario, and some scenarios you might think otherwise. And still, I do have a projector, right? So when this can be useful? This can be really useful if you're traveling, like planes, flying a couple of hours. If you're working and traveling to the office, like a transportation, public transportation, if you know the hours and the bus stops or the stops of the metro, kind of like where do you get out, and you can see still around you people, and you can watch stuff, tutorials, educational videos. You can improve your level of English or any kind of language. Any tutorial, you can watch it on the go. You're not going to be hurting your neck, okay, with the forward head posture, looking down your small screen. You're going to view everything with a 200-inch huge image right in front of you. That's another plus. You won't need external battery. Your phone will give the power to the device. Of course, your phone will be depleted a little more faster, so you might charge your phone when you go to do your work or your school. But it will help you along the way to get the best tutorials where you can really see everything huge. If you're watching like a photo tutorials, Photoshop tutorials, video editing tutorials, you're going to see every detail, every pixel possible on the screen. If you're gaming, this is crazy. If you're mobile gaming, this is extremely interesting because it has 120 Hz. Let me just repeat that, 120 Hz. It's difficult to find an OLED screen and 120 Hz combination right on your face around $400 levels. Of course, what I'm going to tell you as a price, it's not fixed. There could be some discounts. You might find a lower price. You can check the price in the description below from their website, okay? And I think it's kind of like bargain, because when I try to show you side by side with the projector, with the TV, you're going to get a clear idea. This thing is really creating an image of around at least $1,000 of a projector, maybe even above, because over the last 2 or 3 years, I've been changing a lot of projectors and review different stuff. I've been opening 4Ks, ultra short throws, ALRs, and different TVs and whatnot. And since I'm a tech guy over 20 years, I'm reviewing tech stuff over 15 years plus maybe. So I really tested a lot of stuff. So I can't compare them one another. I am not a pixel peeper. I don't care about every detail like most nerds. So I'm going to make my review not rather than technical, but most of the time user-friendly. User-friendly is probably the way to go because these things are for general users. And there are some downsides and also upsides about stuff. So what have I told you? For mobile gaming, if you're playing from your phone, you're going to watch the FIFA, maybe FC football, new name. If you're playing NBA, it's going to be 200 inches from your phone. That's crazy, wherever you go. If you have NVIDIA Shield installed to your phone, so you can play from a cloud, okay, you're going to pay the price of the NVIDIA Shield, but you're going to play proper PC style games on the go with your phone. That's crazy. On a 200-inch image, 120 Hz OLED screens, 2 screens right to your eyes, 600 nits. Let me just explain the 600 nits. If TVs having 1000 nits, that's quite a bright QNET TV style. There are, of course, brighter TVs out there, I know, but 600 nits on a dark background with a 200-inch right in front of you. Again, I want to repeat myself. Good laptop monitor is about 350, 400 nits, maybe 450, but 600 nits, it's the OLED territory. So you got great blacks and you got quite a lot of brightness. So this is going to be feeling like, hey, I missed this. Why haven't I tried something early? Kind of like feeling. At least that was the thing that happened to me. Of course, I will come to the downsides as well. So it gives the performance and the brightness and the contrast, at least on a dark room, if you don't have an ALR, on a dark room. This is a $1,500 and a little bit of about 4K ViewSonic X2 4K projector. And it's a short throw version. So I'm going to be probably reviewing in the detail. And since this is a lit room, this video is shoot HDR and camera right now adjusting to show me. So this is not the picture that I'm seeing, okay? Don't worry about it. This picture is great. I can close the lights in the end of the video and the comparison section. This is a great picture, but this is not an ALR screen, so we have to live with it. So this is about less than $400. Again, I'm going to repeat. So you can't buy anything near this image quality around at least $800 when you compare to projectors. You should go at least Optoma UHD 35 kind of like, or BenQ TK700 style, around the $800 to $1,000 4K bulb style projectors. If you're going to go LED or laser projectors for more contrast, more popped up image like this one, so you're going to be ending around $1,500 territory for the projectors. For TVs, a lot depends on where you buy, which model you buy, but you can find different TVs. But 200-inch, you probably find no TV for the price less than $400. And I'm not even saying you can carry that 200-inch screen wherever you go. That's the main part. So what I'm talking about, the whole entire goodness of this device. Anything bad about it? There are some limitations, of course. When you put the glass on, you have to put the cable on too, because it doesn't have internal battery. I think that's a good thing. Some don't like. Some people don't want any cables at all. But it has a good cable design on the right side of your ear here. Okay, if I push the cable, it goes around your ear. It goes around like this. Let me just hold it. It goes around like this. So people can, if you're walking, let me just give you an example. If you're walking like this, my ideal positioning is like this. Put the cable around it, put your pocket phone at the back. Because if you don't do that, if you hang it like this, someone can tackle you and get the glass and the cable and the phone maybe fall around. Everything could be shattered into pieces and you won't be happy to losing your Type-C supporting good phone, and then of course this smart glass. So basically glass is not smart, but I want to call it smart because I think the application is quite smart. So some limitations, again, if you're going to put it on your console, you need an external adapter because it has to get the power from Type-C and the video from Type-C. But at least my Xbox Series X and probably S and probably PlayStation 5 doesn't have a Type-C output, if I remember correctly. Maybe they have the newer versions, Pro-style versions or upgraded versions of these consoles. They might get a Type-C visual port with a power output, so you can use it directly. But you need an adapter like a Type-C power input and HDMI in and Type-C out for you. So HDMI gives the video and the audio, and Type-C will give you the power, and it will go out. Those sort of converters are kind of like expensive than regular Type-C to HDMI converters because they are dedicated to used with this AR style glasses. So that's a one fact. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's a limitation. Not every console has it. But many of the new generation laptops, probably 2 to 5 years old laptops, have Type-C video output, so you can use them, any of them. And I also have Geekom A8 mini PC at the edge. You've probably seen it. It's another scenario. If you have a small PC, you can use it with that. So that might help. So what are the downsides? I still haven't come to the downsides because it has a lot of good points. But downsides, if you look straight, you see a good picture right in front of you, but it's getting a little bit of time to adjust your brain, or it's a little difficult to accept the reality that you got a 200-inch right in front of you. It's not bad as the VR glasses to get used to the stuff, but it's in front of you, a flat screen. So you your brain needs to adjust, and corners are getting softer a little bit. Maybe it's about my eyes, but I've asked probably 10 different people at the office and around the family members. They say similar stuff. If you're going to watch a video with a 16:9 or 21:9 like a anamorphic style, no problem. The visual is in the middle. But if you're going to use a Windows, that's where the things get interesting because you got a bar at the below like a Windows bar, or if you're going to use it with the Mac, you got icons at the middle in the center. But the bottom edge and the top edge is little difficult to see, especially the bottom edge. So you gotta look like this. Either go front a little bit with the glass or take it back or try to look down. So that at least was the happening for me. You can always solve it to change the resolution a little bit of and then get the things higher level. But I think if you keep these things with the full HD resolution regularity, you might have a little bit problem to see the Windows bar at the bottom of the Windows. But for the videos, movies, no problem at all. And of course, when you look at the visual like this, you don't look at the edge, bottom edge of the video. Most of the time, you look at the center and in entire video's integrity because you're going to have a 200-inch image right in front of your face, just like this one. Okay, this is a 135 from a 4.5 for the camera, probably 4.7 meters, maybe 4.5 meters, big screen. So what happens is, if you're going to use the computer, and I've used it for a couple of days, like 1 or 2 hours, try to adjust my head, brain, eye combination, and try to figure out if it's going to be making any headaches. Because lots of people wondering, if you're going to use too much, like more than 30 minutes, is it going to be bothering you? Sort of is and sort of not. Most of the time, I was happy with the results, but the thing that I didn't understand or couldn't accept in my head, while I was writing a lot of emails on the daily basis because I'm working at the office, okay, I'm shooting these videos as a hobby at night, so don't forget to give a thumbs up and like, subscribe, that would be great. Basically, when you're writing emails, at least I have the, habit of having a fixed screen, not moving, because When you're typing, most of the time you're moving your head from text to text, okay? You're not sitting like a robot with a fixed head. Once you move a little bit of head, what happens is you're going to have a 200-inch image. You can accept the big size of the image in front of you. After a while, you get used to it. But the shakiness of the image, because normally your monitor stands straight right in front of you. At least I have used to it. So my brain tells me when my Outlook or my email is shaking, when my text is shaking. Text is maybe not shaking, but when you move your head, when everything moves, it just gives me the creeps. So I don't like it. But basically you can, if you can stand static, you can really enjoy writing emails, using it. And if you have a Samsung phone like me, if you have a DeX mode, you can use it, your phone, just like a PC, if you got a keyboard and mouse combination, if you got a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. And I will create a dedicated video for phone setup for this or similar items in a dedicated video, because I'm going to review a couple of my accessories, why I've chose them over the others, and how much it's going to cost you. So this will give you a portable monitor. If you don't like to carry a portable 16-inch or 17-inch monitor with you to extend your, area of work, this might help you. If you don't like to look at a small monitor of your laptop, and if you're fed up with your small smartphone, this will help you a lot when you're working, when you're doing anything. But most of the time, it's designed to watch movies, in my opinion, and videos. Boy, it's really good on that. There is no downsides on watching videos. Any other downsides? After using 20 minutes, you get the feeling of the weight. Even with the regular sunglasses, you feel the weight of sometimes. But these are weighing around 20 to 30 grams up top. Maybe for the big glasses, it might be higher. But this is, you're going to see the screen weight on the screen. This is a very light device without the battery, but it feels after 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you feel it, start to feel it. So you just want to take it out a little bit, like 5 minutes, and then get back. The second thing is OLEDs having a huge contrast is much more brighter than a regular, let's just say, good QNET or OLED TVs give sort of brightness. So, but you don't stick your head right in front of your TV. If you're watching too much of a projector, projectors are not most of the time bright and contrasted, at least without an ALR, without a pretty much dark room, as contrasted as TVs. So you see a huge screen with a 600 nits. If you don't dim the brightness, you're going to be saying yourself, this is too bright. But you have the ability to dim down the brightness. So it's a positive, and it's a kind of like negative might be for some people. I just want to point that out. It's not a negative for me because I can dim it down. I can live up with it. But after 30 minutes, your depth of field and your focus really push you, so you want to give a break. It's not going to be like a 2-hour movie and you're going to watch it entirely with this without taking off. I can do it. I did a couple of episodes from Amazon Prime. I watched 2 episodes of Fallout, and then I watched a couple of episodes from different things, and I watched a couple of top tier videos continuously. So I didn't have a problem around 1 hour, but after 1 hour, personally, it's my taste, I just take it out. And I think it's similar stuff when you're, watching stuff. You just get out, get yourself a cup of coffee or water, get a rest. And device also has to rest. Every device and you have to rest. So that might be issue for some people. That, like if you're going to watch on a long term, you could still prefer projector instead of glasses like this. If you ask me which one I prefer, I would prefer still projector. But with a quote, because I can't carry the projector everywhere, I can use this in a car, okay? I can park my car anywhere. I can put the sound with the Bluetooth from my phone to my car. I can watch the movie here, get the audio. If I can solve the delay problem, I will have the perfect cinema audio. I will have the perfect cinema vision with this. So really tough to say something negative about this. But again, after a while, you feel when you look in just right into the middle of the screen, you say everything is sharp as a TV. Once you look around like a upper 30% and lower 30%, you started to feel like, well, it's not perfectly everywhere sharp. It might be about your eyes, but I've also tested like a couple of times. There is nothing wrong with the center, but when you go around the corners, you don't see the same, at least you don't feel the same sharpness, okay? It's something interesting to explain. You have to see it for yourself. But I can't say anything bad about it. I played Tomb Raider with the Xbox Series X for about 20 minutes, and it was awesome. Like playing games with your gamepad is great. And if you connect this to your smartphone and to take the smartphone like a casting device from your console, if you have, let's just say, I don't want to recommend this to the younger generation, because once they put the glass on, you're not going to be seeing your kids what they are seeing. Always for me, if you got small kids, less than 16 years old, I can call them young, I guess, I would prefer the TV. I want to see what they see. I want to look what they look, because I don't want them to look some crazy shit out there. So that's the security of your kids. If you watch this as an adult, and if you watch this as a young generation, well, that's my reality. I don't want my kids to see stuff that I don't want them to see, and I want to protect them as much as I can. So while I can. But basically, when you give them glasses, they can watch anything, and that's a problem for families with the kids. But if you're going to watch, the one downside is, of course, you're going to be watching alone. So if you're like me, family members sleeping, and you're watching the content by your own or before sleep, it's not ideal, by the way, for serotonin levels. Watching the movies before the sleep, getting the blue light, that's a fact. You're going to get older faster, and memory writes down the best. Flushing down the memory and getting everything up and restart the brain, it's happening around 11 o'clock and probably 1.5 o'clock late at night. So if you do such a stuff, watch a movie, you're going to be hurting the memory on the long run, or you're pushing your edge. That's up to you, of course. But basically, that's a medical stuff. So if you're going to watch it alone, you don't want to invest the projector. And what this kills, killing maybe it's a tough word, but this can kill around $300 to $399, maybe $400 single LED, single laser, or even triple laser, small projectors, in my opinion, because it is way sharper than them. It is way brighter than them, and you can carry this everywhere. Of course, you can't, watch movie with the 5 or 10 people around you with the family members if you don't have a projector, only this. But this has a 120 hertz, so you can play games from your console with an OLED screen. And none of the $300 and $400, $500 single LED projectors will give you this much of a brightness, this much of a gameplay experience in a small space. And let's just face it, many of the projectors that I've told you around this price range are not short throws, they are long throws. So you gotta, for 100 inch, you gotta have around 3.5, maybe 4 meter length. And for that distance, let's just call it 3 meter length. If you got a kid room, teenager room, small room, second room, or third room, if you don't have the space for a big screen, this will get the job done. You're going to get an ultra short throw projector effect. You might be looking at the wall from 50 centimeters, but you're going to see the 200-inch image wherever you go. That's something totally annihilating the area of big screen on a small room on a budget, especially on a budget. That's one of the most important spot that people misses. Like many of the tech people take these things and compare them one to another. This is a whole new area. And I'm talking about projectors, TVs, monitors, and again, like ultra short throw monitors with the AR glasses. I don't like VR glasses like Apple Glass covering entire face and gives you much more view area. I don't like that because they will separate you from reality itself. Even though Apple says they have cameras, you see through the camera. Casey Neistat reviewed it and, drove his probably skateboard to everywhere, but it's not ideal for me because it's a heavy thing, it's big, and also, well, you look like a freak basically outside. But once you get this one or something similar, Rayneo Air 2 doesn't look odd when you're on a bus or a metro. You can see people around you, you can see your keyboard, you can see half of your monitor. If you can use this as a second monitor, you can really use this device wherever you go. Any downsides, again, cable might be an issue for some people. Little bit of weight over long time use, not for me. Some people with the eye problem might have a problem, but I've tested with a lot of people, like my mom, over 70. She said she didn't have any problem, but she's using a 2-layer glasses in the same glass. So she has probably hypermetropy for close-ups, and also she had astigmatism, like a concave surface of the eye lens, or lens inside of the eye, so it has like effects of manipulating the shapes. So she didn't have any problems. And we have tested with a couple of people in the office with the contact lenses. They didn't have any issues. And we have a couple of people like close-up problems, like again hypermetropy with the glasses. They thought they would have had problem on the focus. They didn't have. I think the main issue, this thing creates the image from 6 meters away from you, and if you can see 5 or 6 meter distance, if you don't have too much of a myop problem, like a long distance problem, you might not have any problem at all. If you're thinking potentially this might create a problem. But they give a separate part that you can add on with 2 pieces of glasses. If you have the transcription of your glass from a doctor, you can send them the Rayneo and they can create probably glass for you with an additional cost, or you can take out the bulk version of the glass shapes. So you go to a shop where you can buy glass for yourself. They can create same similar size for you, so you can hang it on the piece and use it right in front of your glass. That might help you to see it perfectly. But for me, without any accessories, I didn't have any problem with the Rayneo Air 2. Like I said, around the corners might get a little softer, or you might want to go forward or backward time to time, depending on what you watch. I really felt the feeling of you go forward a little bit and get back a little bit. Those are the details that matters. I know some people, I've talked too much, and on the screen you're going to see it, but it's important. You're going to pay a $400 projector price to this. But it's way better, let me just repeat it again, way better than many of the $300 to $400 single LED brand new projectors. I'm not talking about the second-hand market. But again, in the end, will it replace a TV? No. Will it replace a projector? It might, depending on your solution. If you're going to use it in a kid's room or a bedroom, you might want this one instead of the other ones, because it will give you an interesting experience wherever you go. And if you're traveling like a VIP or renting cars, like with the drivers and stuff, Uber kind of like, you might really enjoy it while the driver is driving the car. And long time travels will give this device a pretty much big opportunity. And I think if you're traveling with the plane, you can lay back. Instead of watching a small screen right in front of you, you can enjoy huge screen. And with the accessories of Rayneo Pocket TV, I think there's an option. Like normally, I would choose, instead of a Pocket TV, my personal phone. But they got a Pocket TV with, I remember correctly, 3 gigabytes of RAM and Probably it supports around 512 to 1 terabytes of storage with the external cards. You can put your offline movies inside of a power bank style accessory, their pocket TV. It's not extremely cheap, but it has some sort of logic. But if you want to cast it, like from your Xbox to it, you can cast it. If it's, and because it has a Google TV, okay, you're not going to be losing the battery life of your phone. And of course, you're going to be putting the internal movies inside of it. So you got like a huge movie archive, and you can play Kodi. You can play some like Plex style apps, and you can play from your network. You can use it. You can do all these things with your Android phone, but it's a dedicated device with a power output. So it's not the must, but it's something there for you to, if you want to try it, if you don't have a new phone. And of course, if you have something like S8 or maybe S9, S10 style, Samsung style, maybe similar style phones with a Type-C, you might use them instead of throwing them out when they get older, you might use them with a multimedia tool. And if you use Samsung DeX, you will enjoy this. While you're watching Netflix or Amazon Prime on the right, you can look at the, economics and news on the left, and you can put up a web browser or at least a mail application and write down your emails from your Bluetooth keyboards. Wherever you go, it's like a production machine. If you give a thumbs up to this device, I can create a dedicated video how you can convert this on a production-based device, like with the accessories and how much they cost, how slim and sleek you can go. I think for instead of a portable monitor, this could be used. Still, it's not going to give you the extended look of a monitor, because normally this is a full HD, okay? Each screen is full HD. You got a 2 OLED screen right in front of your face, but you still got a full HD. If you're going to video edit, you might need a 2K or 4K resolution from your monitor. So that's kind of like be a limitation. But in the future, probably we're going to get a 4K versions of this. Still, you might check expensive versions. Some people will say, this is looking like a sunglass, but there are thinner glasses out there. I know it's not the thinnest and it's not the maybe smallest model, but I really enjoyed using it, and it's probably for the price range with the quality. I really loved it and enjoyed it. I can recommend it to you guys. And again, like I told you, these are my honest opinions. It doesn't matter who sent me this device, but it has some sort of limitations that probably I wouldn't care. And instead of a small entry-level projector, I would gather my money and get this. But like I told you, it will tire you. So that's why I'm still using my projector if I'm going to watch with the family members. And even alone, I would probably 60, 65%, maybe 70% prefer my projector. But on the travel, on the go, in my bag, I can carry this everywhere. And if I'm going to just watch an episode, and if you don't have a dedicated projector setup, like you put the projector out, take it out, and put it in some sort of a drawer or something, then you might think this through again, because you're not going to be wasting time. You're going to take it out and plug it in, and you're good to go. And one last thing, they don't have a proper casing for this. Maybe upgraded version will have a case, but I'm going to show you. This is my sunglass. This is the Carrera brand sunglass, okay? Just like the other glass that I show you, Rayneo. This is the box of it, and it really interestingly fits the hard case of a regular sunglass. So if you can't find a hard glass, you can find a regular sunglass protective boxes. Just look for a bigger one. You can protect it, because I think this is a missing stuff. Inside of a box, you're going to get a pouch, and this is not a regular sunglass. You got an OLED screen, and you want to protect it. It's expensive than regular, at least mid-range of regular sunglass prices are lower than this. So it's not cheap as a regular sunglass. You probably would like to protect it if you're going to throw it in your bag. 120 Hz It's not going to be 140, maybe even 240 for some pixel peepers, but with the OLED, with the contrast, it's great for gaming. And I hope to see you in the next video. I know it's been a long video, but this device really needs attention, and you got to know a lot of detail before you buy this. And I'm going to try to show you as much as I can. While I talk about it on the screen, you're going to see some sections, and there might be dedicated sections. Don't leave the video here. You're going to see the box content, probably box opening, and physical close-up shots, and of course the comparisons if I can shoot it with the super macro settings. And without seeing it alive, probably I couldn't explain the quality to you, but just consider you got OLED screens, how bad it could be. So I hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. The links will be in the description below. Hope to see you in the next video. Until the next video, hoşça kalın. And one last thing before ending the video, you have seen these pictures and you might be thinking, hey, why this guy is after ALR using this? Let me just close the room lights and give you some idea how good this image is. This is a 65-inch TV. This is a 135-inch image. And I'm going to adjust the camera tune, okay, to the projector. Right now it's shooting HDR. Let's just adjust it. And I'm going to close the TV, okay? Just for reference, this is the stuff that I see. So without TV sending the whites or bright lights, you're going to see a great picture. That's why I am using this. And this is not doing justice. I'm seeing way better. And I'm going to probably shoot a dedicated review video. But after probably 5 months, maybe 4 months, I have been probably using it around 2 months. So I will give you my full conclusion, details, why I bought it and stuff. But it's one of the good projectors that I got. Still, you can catch the similar with this Rayneo Air 2. Don't forget about it. In this section, I'm going to explain how I do the testing side by side. I'm going to change my camera with a super macro focus if I can. And what you're about to see right now, this is the ViewSonic X2. It's a lit up remote control. This is about $1,500 projector, 4K short throw projector. So right now what we have is 135-inch 4K image coming out from Realme 4K dongle. And the glass, Rayneo, is connected to the Xbox Series X from the same account, and it's also playing the same 4K YouTube video. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fix the exposure of the camera. I'm going to like a Rayneo Air 2, and then come back to show you this. To show you the contrast difference. The distance that I shoot it, screen might be bigger for you because it's difficult. Rayneo Air 2 is a bigger, let's just say having a 1 meter plus cable. So that means I need to be close to my Xbox Series X. I don't want to make things difficult going back and forth because I'm going to have to go back and forth to show you the difference in different scenes so you get a better idea about how much contrast this extreme glass is with the OLED screen. So I hope you understand how I'm going to test it just in a second. Then you're ready to watch how this glass performs against nearly 5 times more expensive projector. This is the 135-inch image coming out from X2 ViewSonic, and I'm going to review it later on. And this, right now the camera is tuned to brightness of Rayneo Air 2 because it's way more brighter. Let's take a look. This is the Rayneo Air 2. Okay, I know it's getting the camera is difficult. I'm going to go away. This is the projector. This is the Rayneo Air 2. Let me just do it again. I know the one is bigger, one is smaller because of the I am trying to figure out the way to put it in the super macro lens. And this is the image and this is the projector. Can you see the brightness difference? Extreme difference there is. This is a pretty much perfect HDR, and take a look at this. This is the projector right now. Don't get the color difference as an issue, because normally, let's just do it like this. This is the difference, okay? As a tonality, you have to look side by side. I'm going to put the glass here. You can see the brightness difference. Here is the picture and here is the picture from Rayneo. The difference is night and day. 600 nits probably makes double the ratio of the projector. And again, this projector is $1,500 range 4K good projector, but OLEDs are crazy. So even though this glass is not a full HD, like each screen is real full HD separately, you can clearly see night and day brightness and contrast difference. Again, look at this. Just look at the difference. I'm going to try to shoot separate part to make it side by side. Just for you to compare, I'm going to try to zoom in with a custom macro lens and see if I can do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to try to cut the screens in half. By the way, the microphone is closer to the speakers of the Rayneo, but you can clearly see much more contrasted image. Take a look at this, and let me just hold it, try to squeeze it in to this, to that. The difference is night and day. Again, take a look at this and this. Of course, one is looking way bigger, but the brightness is extremely different. Not just the brightness, but tones, HDR. You can definitely get a way better HDR, and I probably made it clear in my overall conclusion section. Let me just try to get in, because there's a cable. It's very difficult to get inside. That's why many people don't do this, but I'm trying to do as much as I can. Take a look at this scene and this. The brightness difference and the HDR tones of the castle. Take a look at this again. Projector is way darker. So, I hope this section made it clear for you. Right now, I am going to start to play the section, and you're going to see side by side. Same video, it's going to start from 10:55 round, roughly, same scene, 11. Okay, basically, I know what I saw, and the screen's comparison, the glass Rayneo Air 2 brightness is in the half mode, because it's giving the extreme details for the black, just like an OLED LG TV. Okay, if you watch like LG G1, maybe C3, kind of like OLED proper TVs, maybe G3. So if you want to get the best blacks and deepest, darkest shadows as possible, I would leave the Rayneo Air 2 in the middle. The comparison of these two videos is nearly the half brightness of the Rayneo Air 2. Even that beats a lot of the settings of the brightness, and of course the contrast, and of course overall HDR tonings of the stuff. Rayneo Air 2 is clearly winner. By the way, you might see a size difference. I will probably try to match it as much as I can from side by side. X2 projector is a 4K and the image is 135. Basically, what you see from Rayneo Air 2 is 200 inch from 6 meters, but what I am shooting is from 4.2 meters, 135 inch image. I am going to try to make it similar one to another. Even though the projector is 4K, Rayneo Air 2 is a full HD, you can clearly see the total difference in the HDR toning, overall black color quality of the OLED. This will take it to the next level. It's really, really hard to achieve this with a projector. When I say really hard, of course, it's possible. I teach you in all my videos. You can do it with an ALR screen and pretty much qualified projector. In that case, right now I am using a white screen. If I had a long throw ALR screen, that will be probably costing around $600 and plus, maybe even more. And then you will get an idea With the $1,500, maybe $2,000 projector combination, you get yourself a $3,000 level of price, and you're going to get yourself a 4K gaming capable with a full HD mode, 240 Hz projector, and the sizes that you can imagine. But the main issue is right now the projector is in the normal mode, so it's not in the eco mode. Of course, that is damping down the life cycle of the projector. But Rayneo is half power. It's giving its brightness in the half, in the side-by-side section. I will do an adjustment section too. In that section, you're going to see the difference from start, the lowest point, to the highest point. So Rayneo Air 2 really wins in overall every case. It's like comparing an OLED TV with a projector. The only thing that it loses over the projector, our eyes for the cinema experience and the depth, somehow projected image is little less tiring on your eyes and maybe for your brain. But if you get used to it, you might like it even more. It's also similar stuff compared to the TVs. Some people prefer TVs with a lot more deeper blacks and extreme contrast. That's again the same stuff with the Rayneo Air 2, but some people prefer, like me, lower contrast and bigger picture, because when you have a lot more bigger picture with a lot more contrast, then you got a huge amount of brightness over your eyes. Some people don't like it, but you can have always the option of dimming it down with the Rayneo, but you don't have the similar option to create extremely detailed HDR footage with the projector that you got. Of course, if you go above $5,000 with your projector and add it up like a professional ALR screen, then you got a clue. Right now, the black scenes of the Dark Knight City effect will probably give you overall idea. And let me just tell you one thing. I don't see the blacks as much as you do. I see more gray in my projection, but I had to dial down the camera settings to the brightness of the Rayneo Air 2. That's why projector might be seemingly fully blacked out, but it's not. It can't properly produce black levels like an OLED screen. I am trying to produce as much as I can, but basically you can't get the black details with projector like an OLED screen. And the main difference is I'm trying to show you the brightness difference, and don't focus on the colors one to another, because camera color tuned as fixed again to 5500 Kelvin. The reason behind it, I need to put a place on it, otherwise it will do it automatically and everything will be shifting from one to another scene. I don't want that. So we got a fixed exposure, fixed white balance, and I'm trying to compare for you to show you if you go darker for the Rayneo Air 2, you can't even see some scenes when it comes down to the dark areas with your projector. And again, I'm reminding you, this is a $1,500 and plus 4K projector with its medium power settings. Like right now, this is normal power consumption, like the highest state, but I haven't pushed the brightness of it to the edge, but it's in the 50%. So it is giving the brightest image possible. You can push it more, but you will lose the details in the darks in that sense. So if you don't have an ALR, you can't use my projector like that. So I don't want to get too technical with the projector itself, but you can't really see the details. You're going to have a clear idea. The clear winner is Rayneo Air 2 by no measure. The only thing, I can really see my projector screen from top to bottom and everything is clear. But with the Rayneo Air 2, above like maybe 10%, 5 to 10%, and below again, around the left and the right, little bit of softness is happening for my eyes. Maybe it's about me, but many people said to me that they have the similar feeling somehow. If they focus on the center, they got the depth. And of course, when you too much focus on a center, the main difference is, I explained it in the long overall my conclusion section, but I want to repeat myself. The depth of the big screen, it's difficult to explain with an AR or VR glass. Even though it gives you the big screen, it's not actually big screen. It's artificially in front of you. So it's something different to overcome with your brain, with your eyes, because you are used to see stuff right coming back to you, not just artificially created in front of you. So probably we might have to get some kind of like usage scenario over a long time and then get used to it, because we are used to TVs and projectors. So let me know at the comment section, what do you really think about this sort of stuff? If this makes you happy, I think Rayneo Air 2, if you're going to watch alone, will replace, at least I can say might replace, a projector around its price range definitely. If you're going to buy something around $300 to $500 alone most of the time, you might consider. But do I prefer it? I would probably stick with the projector 70 to 80%, but I can't carry my projector everywhere. So the main use scenario still for the portability and for the small TV series. And if you're going to play casually, like up to 30 minutes. But if you're going to go above that, you might want to think projector and of course a TV. But again, just remember, this OLED screen that you see in the side-by-side section with probably 4 to 5 times more expensive projector, this Rayneo Air 2 has 120 Hz with the resolution that it has like a full HD, and it's OLED, so the contrast is good. But on the other side, you got a projector with a 4K 60 Hz, but if you do it in the full HD, you got 240 Hz. So if you are willing to pay about $1,000, it's still very difficult to catch the contrast of the Rayneo Air 2. Again, if you're going to buy cheap 4K, you can think of something like Rayneo Air 2. If you're going to buy cheaper full HD, there is no way that you can catch the specs of this glass. So what I recommend for you, if you have a chance to try it somewhere, try. But even if you don't have the chance to try it, I've tried it for you in this video. So I guess no one else in the net right now haven't done such a test so deeply like I told you in this section. So this might be the best section that is interesting for you, but don't skip any parts. If you haven't watched the conclusion part, I know it's long, just like this part, but I made my points quite clear in that section. I hope this video gives you enough explanation. I want to share my opinions. Like I told you, TCL Rayneo sent me these glasses, and I am very happy to test such a hardware. And I wasn't expecting this much of a quality. At least I wasn't expecting it, since it's a full HD, actually 2 screens, I wasn't expecting to catch the level of my 4K beloved new projector. But again, there are always some downsides. Keep everything in mind if you're going to purchase it. And if you watch this video from start to finish, you are having enough ideas before your purchase. So let me know what you think after you purchase this device, or if you decide to purchase this device. If you had a chance to purchase such a device and you had a different experience, just write at the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Again, and for the sake of the channel and supporting the channel, giving the thumbs up and likes, subscribing the video channel, that'll help. In this section of the video, I'm going to show you a 4K footage, but you might get soft corners around the bottom like the icons, but it's about my camera focus, because it's very difficult to get extremely proper focus. Concentrate on the brightness levels. We got 9 steps. As you can see, I'm going to dial it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is for your eyes sake. And you watch the video compared to projector in a level 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically this is more than enough, but I'm going to continue. 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can't catch this level with probably any of the projectors. This is an OLED screen. This is just like an OLED TV. So there is no turning back once you see this. But again, I always repeat the probably same stuff. You got some upsides, you got some downsides. You have to choose, and that choice is up to you. I'm just showing you. In this section of the video, try to focus yourself to the contrast and overall picture. But basically, I am trying to pull focus manually in a very small screen, from a very small screen. This is the Xbox Series X, and I want you to see the settings. As you can see, this is a Full HD device. Go to the General, TV and Display. My resolution is Full HD. And I don't have the settings. Let's just check the video modes, 422. And other than that, right now I can't control the hertz levels. That might be about my Type-C to HDMI controller. So you might want to get the best controller ever out there. But if you are using this with a PC, no problem. It's easy to adjust with converters because PCs are better acting with converters. So let's try some games. Don't forget, I am playing behind a couple of inches of screen of a camera. So if I play bad, don't judge me by that. So I think the game is right now passed away. This is one of the issues of my converter. I'm going to try to get back again. I'm going to take the glass out and take it in with the cable. It might work or might not work. So let's try. The game has come. So there is probably a converter issue that I want you to see here. I'm not going to cut this out. It is about the converter because the console is changing the probably hertz levels. Just like a TV, it's just push itself to the 120 or 144 hertz kind of like level, and controller might not support it with the Xbox or any kind of like console. So try to get the best HDMI to Type-C controller. But such a stuff don't happen with a smartphone and with the PC solution. So let's play. Overall, I think the picture quality is good, but taking the Type-C cable out and in, it's not an issue. But if you're playing an action game and if it's cut out in the middle of a game, that's kind of like a sucking situation. So let's start. I don't know about you, but the picture quality is good. So let's just charge and fire. Since I am playing the normal mode with everything already finished, I finished the game, by the way. I have just extra couple of stages to finish, optional. So that's why I am always blasting stuff out, but you get the idea. So I will stop this game, go back to the main menu. As you can see, I can't. Because of the hertz level change, I'm taking it out and back in the converter. So the picture has come. In this sense, don't get me wrong, this is nothing about probably the glass, but this is about the HDMI Type-C and Type-C power input cable. So we got a female Type-C port, two Type-C port. One is delivering power from the Xbox Series X. The other one is getting the HDMI signal and creating a Type-C with the visual and the power together to the Rayneo Air 2. That means there's some sort of a centering stuff. So other than that, what could we play? We could play a race game, fast-paced race game. So let's play the Speed Storm. Again, I think the visual is cut out. That might be bothering you, But don't worry, this probably won't be happening to you if you got a proper converter. That might be about my converter. So let me know if there is a perfect converter out there for the Rayneo Air 2, because Rayneo doesn't sell the converter. I think their probably priority is to sell this with a smartphone. So let's friendly race. Okay, private track, create a race, and I guess if I say I am ready, then it's done. Well, I wasn't playing this game for long, so I don't want to just, let's just play, hit the play. Nah, it's trying to friendly race, special events. Let's hit the friendly race. Local free play, one single player. Okay. I think that's the way to go. Okay, I got it. Sorry about the waiting process. Let's try. I really love the fluent pixels. I am playing behind a very small screen. That's why I messed up. But I guess even that could give you some enjoyment. As you can see, I think this is one of the ideal setups. Let me just hit the button here and try to change the picture brightness. I know it's getting difficult for me to do so. Again, camera is not going to take everything, but I just want you to see the difference. It's right now extremely bright compared to the last section. So this is great if you want to play on a small screen. Basically, not for a small screen, but 200-inch image. It is something small, but when you put it on your eyes, right in front of your eyes, that's awesome. But we lost the screen again. This section is over. Find yourself a proper converter. Welcome to the end section of the Rayneo Air 2 review. But probably you have guessed that I haven't done one thing, and that was the comparison the Rayneo Air 2 with my QNET 65-inch TV right here. I've just compared it with a $1,500 range 4K projector, and I think this is the equal stuff to test one-on-one. The reason behind it, this is giving from roughly 6 meters, 200-inch plus image. And probably it will be ideal for you to compare it with a projector rather than a TV. But if you give this video lots of likes and subscribes, and of course, write at the comment section below, just make it full, because YouTube loves comments a lot. That means you're interacting with the channel. Please do at least say hi, that video was good, thanks you for your efforts, kind of like whatever you can write. Don't just use the bad words, okay? Try not to, of course. So if you give this video a lot of likes, I will try to shoot side by side with the QNET TV. I know my TV is not OLED. This screens in the Rayneo Air 2 are OLEDs. But basically, I'm going to try to give you the best possible scenario, because this TV has 120 Hz for gaming capabilities, and this also giving similar. So if I connect it and show you the visuals, you will get a clear idea, at least with the brightness, with the HDR capabilities, and whether you should be considering compared to a TV. You might be saying, hey, TV cannot replace with a glass. Well, it might be if you're living single, or if you're going to watch the TV alone late at night after a long time work, after you spend your family time together with your family members, like I do. I spend every day certain amount of time with my kid and with my wife, with the family members, like the elders. And then if I got time left, I watch a movie or at least something relaxing for myself. So that way I'm watching all alone. So I can watch the TV alone. I can use this thing alone too. So if you're wondering like that, I'm not saying go be antisocial, single, or live alone. No. But if you're watching, you can watch the IPTV from your phone if you connect this. And if you're wondering what kind of an experience could be, like a NVIDIA Shield, write at the comment section below. I think this device has a lot to offer for more scenarios, because more and more everyday mobile devices giving us better scenarios. And if you're also wondering if this could be a good companion to Geekom A8 mini PC over there with palm of my size, palm size PC, I reviewed it with a Ryzen 9 CPU, which I play Steam games and also edit my videos. Give this video a big like. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until next video, hoşça kalın. And I know these videos are taking longer for some people that don't like long videos, but you can push the button of 2x and still get my videos because I talk regular speed. So even if the 2x speed can be easily understandable, and it will drop down the timing in a half. I know it still might be long for people, but hey, if you want to spend $400, I think you have right to learn as much as you can. I hope to see you in the next video on Cinema and Tech Review.